All right, guys, so two great phones here, the Mi A2 Lite and the Mi A2. We're going to go a quick walkthrough with them, and some of you guys had questions about which one you should pick up, which one you think you might like better. So this video is just to go over some things on the phone, the differences, and then show you the camera samples that some of you guys wanted. So keep watching, and let's get into this video. All right, so we're going to start with design here, and the design of both of these are actually really good. This one obviously is a metal build, and this one was in question about it being metal, and whether it was plastic. To my understanding, the plastic is along the top and the bottom, and some people question that and wanted me to confirm, but these both have a metal frame, metal chassis, but this one right here has plastic along the top and bottom from what I'm finding out. So all metal design over here with the antenna lines, and then you've got plastic on the back of this one right here at the top and bottom for the antenna services, so for cell phone signal. But the design of these are obviously very similar. So you've got the same looking to cameras, the fingerprint readers. They've got the branding on the back right here, and then you've got a volume rocker and power button pretty much positioned in the same style and format, and then you've got the SD card slot on the smaller one with the SIM tray, and then you just got the dual SIM tray on the bigger one here. And on the top here you have a headphone jack, an IR blaster, and a microphone, and then on the Mi A2 you just have an IR blaster and a microphone. On the bottom down here you've got a Type-C with a speaker grill and a mic grill, and down here you have a speaker grill, a micro USB, and a mic grill. Now along the front here you'll see some differences. Obviously you've got a 6-inch display over here, ultimately 5.99, and then you have a 5.84. And along the front here you've got proximity sensor, speaker grill, camera, and then you've got a 20 megapixel on the front of that one. And on this one, not much going on over here. It does take on that newer design that everybody fell in love with. So if they fell in love with that newer design, and it's got the area cut out there with one proximity sensor, a speaker grill, and the 5 megapixel camera up there. Now they both have the larger bottom chins on there, but this one employs again that newer design. This is 18:9 ratio, and this is 19:9. So that's the design of the phones right there. Now inside of this, they're different as well. This has the newer Snapdragon 660, and this has the Snapdragon 625. They both come in a 4 gig variant. This one even comes in a 6 gig variant, but I have the 3 gig variant of this phone right here, 3 gig 32, and this is the 4 gigs 32 for this one. Now the great part about this one is it has an SD card slot. That's one of the major advantages over this model right here, the Mi A2, but you have to decide whether or not that's important to you, because you can get this in a 64 and 128 gig 6 gig model, so you decide there. But those are the memory options for this phone, and I don't see using a 32 gig model a problem with these phones, because I have unlimited cloud storage through Google with the Android One devices, so all pictures, all that stuff is backed up, and you can just delete it from your phone if you want to. That is how they sit next to each other. That 4,000 milliamp hour battery inside of this one, along with the 3,000 milliamp hour battery inside of this one here, is just, it's not so much night and day, but you know, it's just one of those things. You get a bigger battery over here, and that's just what it is for the Mi A2 Lite. And this also has a headphone jack. It sounds like they're really pushing this one because they both have stock Android. That's not something that's separating the two. They both have stock Android, so no quarrels there. And they both have a 1080p display. You know, they're good. Both displays are great. Obviously this one is a little smaller, so it's going to be easier to hold in the hand, but remember, this is a 5.84 inch display, and this is a 5.99 inch display. And I have larger hands than the average person, obviously, but they're still not big phones to me compared to some of the other phones that I have. So that's a look at that portion. Now, price-wise, this one obviously costs less. You can grab both of these in the links in the description. $169, and this one kind of fluctuates between $200 and $350 or $325 or so, going up to the 6 gig model. But just hit the links in the description, and you'll see the price on there. performance on these are what you would expect. They're running stock Android, so they're doing very well. No issues with that at all. They're very fast, they're very fluid, and you know, that's a short thing for me to say. They work really good. So if you're deciding between the two, software shouldn't really be an issue. And I remember this is a 3 gig version, this is a 4 gig version, but I really can't see much difference in the two. But I don't know, maybe it's going to take me a little bit longer in testing. But for now, software balances right out. Now, where they both are great are the cameras. So I'm going to take a second and show you this camera footage. All right, guys, so here's the Mi A2 Lite and the Mi A2. Now, the Mi A2 Lite does not record in 4K, even though it's running a Snapdragon 625 and it has the capabilities of doing so, it doesn't. So I put both of them to 1080p at 30 frames per second. And this is going to be a tough one for you guys to pick a winner, I'm sure, for whatever you think. But both of these cameras are fantastic. Now, it's a real windy day out. So I'm pretty sure. And one thing about these phones is they have great noise canceling microphones, but they also have great microphones for recording. So they're about the same in most cases. So I normally just pick one or the other when I have two phones that have great audio. So audio is going to come from either one of them, and you know, it's just one of those things where it's really, really solid. What do you think? All right, guys, so there they are, the Mi A2 Lite and the Mi A2. You decide which one you think is the one for you. There are differences between the two, and no NFC on either one. Some people like to talk about NFC. I personally don't use NFC a lot. I just only use Apple Pay or Samsung Pay. So these phones really don't matter to me too much if they don't have that feature. Doesn't matter to me too much if it doesn't have it. However, my Essential phone has, you know, NFC, so if I want to do Android Pay on there, I could, but I don't use that very often. However, other than those small things that the phone might not have, but there's a lot that these phones are offering for the price range, and I'm sure you'll be able to pick either one of these and decide the one that's going to work for you. The great part about it is you can get both of them for under 400 bucks or under 500 bucks. So that's a huge plus. So one for you and your wife, one for you or your daughter, whichever you decide, one for you or your son. These both are fantastic for the price range, and they're just high-end features at a very low cost. And especially the Mi A2, those 20 megapixel cameras, the 20 megapixel camera on the rear with the 12, it's really good in comparison to the 12 and the 5 on here. Now, that doesn't mean this is bad or that much worse off, but I think both of them are offering a lot of bang for your buck. So you decide in the comments. It's your man Jay Will. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.